What's up, everybody, and welcome once again to the Poindexter Lounge. That's right, the Poindexter Lounge. What is it, Tiff?
A place for nerds.
That's right, and we are nerds. Me and her. We're nerds, and you are here, so that makes you a nerd too. And we are so glad to have you with us today. If this is your first time at the Poindexter Lounge, welcome, all right? But hey, since you're here for the first time, why don't you consider just
Think about it.
Yeah, ponder it, if you will. Hitting that subscribe button and becoming part of this group of nerds, all right? There's plenty of other people just besides us. We're just the ones in front of the camera. There's actually a myriad
Yes.
of
We make
people.
it look fun.
Yeah. So please come join us here at the Poindexter Lounge. And also, if you do that, hey, why don't you hit that notifications bell so that you know when we put out new videos, because we're putting out videos like...
Every single day.
That's right. Like, they're going out of style, but they're not, because they're cool videos about stuff
They're
that we
classic.
Yeah, because we it's about stuff that we love, all right, and that you love. So they're not going out of style. Don't worry about that. And hey, if you're a nerd, you don't care about style anyways, do you? Nope. I don't think so. Anyways, but so just do that for us. And also, if you like the video, why don't you give us a thumbs up? All right, like the video. Let us know that you're digging the content that we put out for you, and share the video with other people.
Yes.
Share the video. Why do we want people to share them?
love.
Why do we want people to share videos?
So they can see how much fun we're having.
Yeah, so that other nerds can come and join the
Nerd out
fun.
with us.
Yes, and as always, look, we made this channel so that we can have interaction with people like you, all right? Other people from around the world, because we got people from around the world joining
Which
into
is
this
super
Poindexter.
cool.
That's right. We got the Poindexter Lounge is international. Yes, it is. And so we want you to feel free to join the conversation, all right? So leave your comments down in the comment section about this topic today. And also, if you want, you can keep the conversation going over at Twitter, at Enosh Music, or...
At Grand Theft Tarkin.
And when you do, use the hashtag Poindexter's Lounge, okay? Or Poindexter Lounge, I should say. So
You've been saying it with an S. You might
Have
have
I?
to clarify that.
yes, Poindexter Lounge. Either way,
All
we'll
one
get it.
word.
I think we'll find it either way. But anyways, today, Tiff, we were all the old things become new
Yes.
again, and I don't. It's crazy. I cannot believe that it's 2018, and we're reporting this story.
Yep.
But I got to report it, because I'm telling you right now, if this happens, I'm gonna lose my mind.
You always do in the theater.
I'm gonna geek out. Hey, look, if you were with me when we went to go watch The Last Jedi,
Yes.
she could tell you I was geeking out.
I was trying to quiet him like a 10-year-old kid who just found out he got a ton of candy for Christmas. I was trying to shush him.
Yes,
Because Yoda brings that out.
my friend Jordan can tell you, I was losing it.
You were.
I was hitting my leg when Yoda showed up on the screen. I saw the silhouette of Yoda go by.
He was like, oh.
The guy next to me, I think, thought I was crazy,
He
because
did.
I was ecstatic. I was over the moon. But so here we are, and Tiff,
Yes.
do you know what we're talking about today?
A little thing called Star Wars.
We're talking about Star Wars, all right? And nothing gets me more excited than Star Wars and dog hair that's floating all
Yes.
over the studio. I don't know what's going on. The dog must have got in the studio. So here's the thing. We know that there was a lot of people who did not enjoy The Last Jedi.
We were not one of them.
They did not enjoy The Last Jedi the way that we did.
Yes.
And that's okay. And that's okay here in the Poindexter Lounge, because it's
you
for
can
all
have
nerds.
a difference of opinion.
Yeah, it's for all nerds.
Yes.
But here's the thing. For those that didn't, obviously they've been very vocal,
Yes.
and there's been a lot of complaining going on
Talking.
and talking about The Last Jedi. And there's people who said, I'm fed up, I'm done with Star Wars. I don't know how you get to that level.
That might be a fair weather Star Wars fan.
I don't know. I don't understand how you get to a level where you just say you're done with Star Wars, because if I was going to do that, I would have been done after Episode 1 and Episode 2.
Yeah.
And I would have just said, Star Wars is never going to be good again. I'm done. But the thing is, I've learned to appreciate the prequels over time.
Yeah.
And
They're
honestly,
still not your favorite, but you still like what they bring to the table.
yeah, and honestly, even Attack of the Clones, which a lot of people feel is the worst one, we did a Star Wars marathon a couple years ago, and I actually, in watching Attack of the Clones, I really appreciated a lot of stuff that I never really noticed before, I never really thought of before. And so I think that's how Star Wars works. right?
It's in phases.
You may not like everything,
No.
at first at least, but you start to appreciate it over time.
Yep.
And so, Tiff, they're talking now that Disney is trying to make some changes.
So I've heard.
Yeah, so we're not going to talk about Kathleen Kennedy because she may be on her way out. We don't know.
They're trying to change Star Wars, haha. Sorry.
So we don't know what's going to happen with the leadership of Star Wars or who's going to be president of Lucasfilm or any of that stuff. But the reality is Disney and Lucasfilm are taking a hard look at where Star Wars goes from here.
Yes.
Enter J.J. Abrams, who wrote and directed Star Wars Episode 9.
Yep.
Tiffany, they begin filming Star Wars Episode 9 next week.
Nice. I'm okay with that.
Yes. So here's the thing. They're talking about now that they really want to pay attention to the fans, right? Try to give the fans something that they all want, even if it means ideas and concepts that the fans all theorize and have talked about. Maybe we should put some of that stuff in. Just for those people who said, I'm done with Star Wars, never going to watch it again, maybe if we put some of these things in, it'll bring people back and they'll see that.
I understand appeasing some people, but it's also, if you start doing this with everything, it's going to be like every little kid in a sport having to get a participation trophy because they're not getting their way, they're not good enough. It's like, I'm not trying to pick on anybody, it's frustrating sometimes because you're kind of taking the creativity away from the directors and the producers themselves because they have to appease the fans. You do want to keep your fans, don't get me wrong, but...
Like we said, you can tweet her at GrandTiffTarkin on Twitter. But I'm just messing. So, but the thing is so there's been talk of some various different things. A lot of people are all wanting Luke to live. I've seen comments all over YouTube.
Unless he was a clone.
Hey, look, I love me some Luke Skywalker, and if they came out and said that Luke was a clone in The Last Jedi and that the real Luke is still out there,
needs to please stand up.
I would not be opposed to that.
Yes.
I would not be opposed to the theory
I
that
don't think that he would be either.
I would not. Yeah, Luke would probably be happy about that too. I would also not be opposed to the other theory that I saw that talks about the wills, which is a Star Wars concept of the creatures that are these ethereal creatures that control the Force and they speak to the midichlorians, which speaks to us or whatever. I don't know, but there's talk now that maybe because of Luke's sacrifice in The Last Jedi, that maybe it was not his time to go, that he needs to still stand up and save the galaxy, and so the wills are rejecting his sacrifice.
Funny because that would actually bring to fruition what he said in The Last Jedi he goes, what do you think, that I'm just going to show up and come in and save, everybody?
Maybe he does.
Maybe he was foreshadowing it in a different way that we didn't know.
There's a lot of people, though, who are saying, if Luke does not come back alive somehow, I am never watching a Star Wars movie again. Don't bet on Luke coming back. Luke will be back in this movie, I believe, at least as a Force ghost.
Or memories,
or
flashbacks.
Yeah, or as a flashback. But as much as I would love to see Luke Skywalker alive in the flesh fighting again.
But just as things change, Star Wars will change.
Yes.
You had to get rid of the people who were in the originals, and little by little, because you need to make room for the new people that are coming in for the new franchises.
Somebody warned Lando. That's all I'm saying. He's in the movie. So, okay. So here's what this video is about. One of the websites that we frequent and one of the YouTube channels that we love is Mr. Sunday Movies.
Yes.
Okay? And he has a podcast that is called The Weekly Planet.
Yes.
All right?
And we love his song that we're not going to sing.
Yes. Red Hot Comic Book Movie News. Right where it counts. But anyways, so he has been on Collider. Mm-hmm. He's been on Jedi Council. Yep. He's pretty level-headed. He's funny. Yeah. I love his humor.
Huge fans.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Mr. Sunday Movies. And so for him to say what we're about to talk about lends a little more credibility.
Pretty big deal, yeah.
Okay? So, Tiff, two things. One, and then we'll go to the lesser first. The lesser idea first is that Disney wants Episode 9 to make the fans happy. So in doing so...
to make a fluff piece, though.
No.
Okay.
But in doing so, they want to do some things. And so one of the ideas that it says that they are throwing around right now is the possibility of not, because we got concept art for The Force Awakens that said that Anakin was coming back, okay, as a Force ghost, and it just didn't happen. There's been a lot of concept art and ideas that just didn't make it into the movies, and some of them that have come back as different ideas and whatnot. Because Yoda was also supposed to, but Yoda ended up in in the Last Jedi.
Yeah.
So, and also Luke, and some of the things that he did also came back as different ideas. So there's talk that in this movie they're going to double down. So not just get Anakin, but also possibly stir some stuff up and some interest up for the upcoming Obi-Wan movie that apparently did not get canceled.
Good to know.
And have both Anakin and Obi-Wan appear in this movie. And we don't know if we'll get good Anakin, bad Anakin, or what was in the concept art for The Force Awakens was a split Anakin, where sometimes he would be good Anakin,
Like
and sometimes
Two-Face?
yes, and sometimes he would be Darth Vader, and that could have been the Darth
The flip
Vader.
of the saber to find out which one he's going to be.
That could have been the Darth Vader or the Anakin that was speaking to Ben Solo.
That's true.
So we don't know yet. But what do you think of the idea of those two both being in the movie?
I think I'm indifferent right now. One, because I'm hearing it for the first time, because I'm not on...
Surprise!
I'm not on the internet as much as he is. But I have my own feelings about Anakin, as depending on if they're going to bring back...
Oh, they would bring back
Okay.
Hayden Christensen, yes.
Then I don't know how I feel about that. I know if you want to advance the story, that's fine. And like I said, by appeasing some of the fans, you're not doing that to the others, which I'm in that group. But I also love me some Kenobi, so that would be cool to kind of weave that into the next movie too. So
Well, here's the thing, and here's the reason why these two stories mean something, because they've already confirmed that J.J. Abrams, what he wants to do with Episode 9 is to bring in all these
Tie it on.
concepts from both the prequel trilogy and the original trilogy to make it about all 9 movies. And so far we've got
okay.
we've got
That makes more sense.
Yeah, so we've got some confirmation that we could see it's supposed to be more planets in this movie than any other Star Wars movie.
Nice.
We're supposed to see Naboo possibly, Tatooine. They're supposed to possibly go back to Endor, and maybe we might see something about where the burned mask came from.
Yeah.
So there's like all these stories
Very
coming
cool.
out, and so with that, how cool would it be to see Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor back together as Force Ghosts?
maybe he'll have a little more acting under his belt, and it won't be so wooden.
Well, I think what they did was they took all the acting that he did in the prequels and they made that Jedi Temple tree
Oh, nice.
out of it, and so
Okay.
that burned down now. So now he's free to be a good actor now. I love Star Wars, folks. Trust me. Okay, so that's that story. I personally, I think it'd be super cool. Just on a nostalgia thing for me. Even though the prequels weren't as good as the originals, to me, I know for some people they're better, whatever. I don't understand that one, but they are for people. The nostalgia alone of seeing those two actors together and maybe interact
can
or at
see
least
that.
have a role in this movie, I would love to see that. Now,
But see, difference opinion. Type it in the comments.
there you go. So here's the thing. Now the big one. The big one. The one thing that has been rumored ever since episode 7 was even thought of, and we started hearing about this character of Snoke. Who is Snoke? One of the biggest things people were ticked off about in The Last Jedi is Snoke was killed before we got his backstory. And we don't know anything about Snoke, and people are ticked.
And he could be in flashbacks in this movie too.
Well, they're talking about the possibility of flashbacks using Ed Helms.
Nice.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
As a younger Snoke.
I can see that.
But are you ready for this? The story that will not die has come back, and that is that because
I bet I can
Disney
guess.
because Disney wants to please the fans in this movie, that they are seriously considering and tossing around, and this was talked about by Mr. Sunday Movies on his podcast, The Weekly Planet, both of these stories, so the Anakin and
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan thing, but also the fact that because they want to please the fans, Snoke is Darth Plagueis.
That's something that we were throwing around ourselves before the movie came out, so.
So, if that happens, I'll be very happy. Because
you wanted that to happen in the first place.
as much as I like The Last Jedi and I like The Force Awakens, I feel that if Snoke is not Plagueis,
then who the heck is he, and why was he so
it's
powerful?
like a waste, because everything says he's Plagueis.
Yeah.
I mean, the backstory so far that we do have is he watched the rise and fall of the Empire. He's ancient, right? He's been around for possibly up to 1,000 years, right? He knows about Darth Vader. Apparently, he gave the helmet or whatever, Darth Vader's helmet, to Kylo Ren. He knows about the Skywalker bloodline. From Anakin to Luke to now Ben, and trying to seduce him to the dark side. He knows all this, and who better to know that than the guy who helped create Anakin?
Yep.
Right?
Which could then tie it in, bringing Anakin back with Kenobi.
Yes.
So
I mean, we got all these little
I see
hints
it.
that, like, when Snoke first appears, we hear the Darth Plagueis music.
Yep.
From Episode 3, when we first learned about Darth Plagueis. I read the Plagueis book, which is no longer canon, but it was amazing, the backstory there. So everything points to
It does.
that he should be Plagueis. Why they haven't revealed that and said that, I don't know.
Maybe Rian Johnson didn't know what to do with it.
Maybe, I don't know.
But J.J. Abrams might have to pick it up and run with that.
Yeah, so
pass the Star Wars baton.
Now they've said repeatedly over and over again, he's not Plagueis, he's not Plagueis, he's not Plagueis. So the story comes up, dies. Story comes up, dies. Story comes up and dies. But now the story has come up, and so Mr. Sunday Movies has said he can't reveal who told him this, but that this was a person who is a very reliable source. Now look, if this was just some, Joe Schmo YouTuber who's like, oh, I gotta...
Guess what I heard.
Guess what I heard. I wouldn't put much into it, etc. But because it's Mr. Sunday Movies, who has those kind of connections,
credentials,
I give it some credence.
Yeah.
And if that happens, Tiffany,
super exciting.
I think it'll make a lot of Star Wars fans very happy.
You might have to wear Depends to that movie because you might have an accident.
I really might.
Yeah.
I really might. So that's what we're reporting here, ladies and gentlemen. We could get both Anakin and Obi-Wan in Episode 9.
And Snoke being Plagueis.
And Snoke could be Plagueis because Disney wants to make a movie that...
How do you feel about the
fans
mouse
like.
now?
So there you go, folks. I didn't think that I'd be reporting that story, but we are now, all right?
Yeah.
So, hey,
What do you think
what
about
do you
it?
think? Please leave your comments down in the comment section. Has this been the news that you've been wanting to hear forever, like me?
Or did you hear this news and you were like,
Again? Again with the Plagueis thing. Let us know down in the comment section, or like I said, tweet us at Enosh Music and
at Grand Theft Target.
using the hashtag Poindexter Lounge.
Yes.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us today, guys and gals. I'm almost exhausted even talking about this story one more time. But if it does come to fruition, I will say this. All of the arguments, all of the conversations, all of the complaining and the boycotts and
Might have
everything,
been worth it.
I will say that if Snoke is Plagueis, I will tip my hat to all of you who complained and griped and
J.J. Abrams gets to spearhead this. That's very cool.
I will tip my hat to you, because then something will have literally come about just besides somebody getting fired, because I don't know about that, because you never know what you're going to get after that person's gone. So, but if this actually happens, I will tip my hat to you all. All right? So that's what we got today, folks. Like I said, thanks for joining us here at the Poindexter Lounge. My name is Enosh, a.k.a. Enosh Fett, and with me as always is the lovely...
Tiff-tastic.
All right, and as always, may the Force be with you.
And also with you.
Bye-bye.